World War I, one of the most devastating wars the world had ever seen. A war that brought new technology and weapons, but more so brought many casualties and chaos. The war itself brought around 41 million military and civilian deaths. Deaths from disease to dying in the battlefield. World War I shook the world, specifically Europe, leaving millions dead and countries destroyed, falling apart. After the war began to die down as Germany lost power, the people of Europe wanted justice for what had happened. That justice came through the Treaty of Versailles. The Treaty of Versailles was signed on June 28, 1919. Many people know it as a document that meant the war was over, but it really means much more. On June 28, 1919, 4 leaders from the Allied powers met just outside of Paris at the Palace of Versailles to carry out the Paris Peace Conference. They were Woodrow Wilson of the United States, David Lloyd George of Britain, Vittorio Emanuele Orlando of Italy, and Georges Clemenceau of France. Together, they all made up what we know today as the Big Four. They together created and signed the Treaty of Versailles. The Treaty of Versailles consisted of 15 parts, totaling together 440 articles. Most of these articles consisted of limitations for Germany to avoid having another war and land divisions. But of all, the most important part of the treaty was the forming of the League of Nations. To begin with, sections of German land were split and given to various Allied powers. On top of this, Germany was to take responsibility for losses and damages during the conflict. Germany itself was demilitarized. Germany's army and navy were severely reduced, and the German general staff was abolished. Even though the treaty had a very big impact on Germany, its impact on the world came from the League of Nations. The League of Nations itself was created by Woodrow Wilson in order to protect the world in the future from war by assembling all nations. The 14 points of the article mostly focused on specific countries like Poland, Turkey, Romania, and a few others and their independence. Not only that, but the document had countries agree that there be open diplomacy, freedom of navigation, free trade, and military disarmament. The Treaty of Versailles brought compromise to the conflict of World War I. The treaty affected the world today by bringing about the League of Nations. The League of Nations prevented many wars and conflicts. Although the war was over, the Treaty of Versailles' limitations on Germany caused lots of problems leading up to World War II, causing Adolf Hitler to begin fighting against Europe. The world was changed after the Treaty of Versailles and will be changed forever.